In this one, I want to talk about how to lean max without tracking calories. This was a video idea that I got from this comment. He said that we need a lean maxing guide, but without the whole tracking calories and tracking protein like everyone is recommending. So I thought this was a good idea. So now I'm making this video. So when I was a teenager, there was a period of time where I was anorexic and I lost a bunch of weight, a bunch of body fat without even tracking calories or protein intake. I don't really recommend to be underweight. I think you should be at a healthy weight, obviously. But if you are overweight compared to ideal and compared to your goals, then maybe there's something you can learn from this video. And yeah, like I mentioned, I did not track protein or calories. It just happened without tracking. So here's how I did it. First of all, I was addicted to fasting. So I would try to eat as late as possible. My first meal would often be lunch or dinner, and I would eat around 1 to 2 meals a day. I was listening to YouTubers that basically told me that I should fast as long as possible to get into ketosis because of ketones, etc., autophagy, all those fancy buzzwords. But basically, I was convinced that the more I fasted, the healthier I would become. So I would just try to eat as late as possible. So my eating window would naturally be really narrow. And this would pretty much make me undereat and lose weight without even tracking, without even trying to track calories or protein. So that's one of the things I did. And I was pretty obsessed with it. I would fast for as long as possible. I would try to start eating as late as possible. And yeah, that's one of the things I did to become underweight, basically. Number two, I was addicted to cardio. So in my case, I used to run outside. I was also like doing national competitions when it comes to running. Yeah, basically cardio burns calories, it burns fat, and it delays and suppresses hunger signals. So if you run a lot, you're probably not going to be hungry while you're doing cardio. And the type of cardio doesn't really matter. You can do any of these. You can do boxing, you can do riding a bike, you can do basketball. Ideally one that you like so that you can do this long term. Being obsessed with cardio is one of the ways that I became underweight, basically. Number three, I was addicted to clean foods. So there's a eating disorder which is called orthorexia. It's an unhealthy obsession with pure and healthy foods. And that's what I had. It has a lot to do with anxiety, which I used to have a lot back then. And it also has to do with being high in the personality trait that is called neuroticism, which may be your case if you relate to any of this. So like I said, I had orthorexia. I was following YouTubers as a teenager that made me scared of eating unpure stuff. Anything that was not natural or pure or healthy, I would just not consume. I would be scared of the toxins and stuff with dangerous names. I was a teenager without a good father figure, so it was pretty easy to manipulate me back then. So it all started with eating grass-fed meat and grass-fed dairy, till eventually I was barely eating anything, only a few clean foods, and I was excluding everything else. And then of course, the end result was I was under eating in terms of calories. I would reject social opportunities if they included eating stuff that was not healthy, which was basically 99% of them. It was not a good time. Not being lonely is more important for your health than even your diet, since chronic loneliness causes chronically high cortisol, and that's not healthy for you. It's not recommended. But yeah, it was because of YouTubers. They exist now, but they also existed back then, just different faces. And I think the advice now is more dangerous than the one I was exposed to. This is why I maybe get a little bit emotional when I'm talking about YouTubers that I see as net negatives or that can cause eating disorders, because I used to be one of them. And I don't want more people to go through that. Anorexia has a very high mortality rate. It's, I think, the most deadly eating disorder. And it also causes neuroticism, anxiety, depression, etc. And there's a way longer list when it comes to detriments that it can cause. So I don't recommend it, but these are the three things that I did to basically lose a bunch of body fat when I was a teenager. If you're underweight or have a healthy weight, then just ignore this video. But if you're overweight, then maybe there's a thing or two you can learn from this video, because I did lose a bunch of weight and body fat as a teenager without even tracking calories or protein. So if you already try to lose body fat and you try tracking protein, try tracking calories, but you think it's not sustainable, then try to get obsessed with either one or multiple of these. And this is how I lost body fat really, really fast when I was a teenager, to the point it wasn't even healthy. But if you're the type of person to have too much body fat compared to your ideal, then maybe this is something you can consider, and maybe there's something you learn from this video. And of course, as you can tell, I'm the type of person to be obsessed with stuff. I was obsessed with doing all these three, which led me to losing a bunch of weight. I don't think I have pictures of how I looked at my worst, because I was simply not taking pictures. I did not like my physique back then. But yeah, I hope this one was helpful, and thank you for watching.